You got along great with their family. In fact, they thought you were the greatest thing that ever happened to their daughter. When they wonder why their daughter could do something so dumb as to cheat on you or leave you, and they give her a hard time about it. They tell her, like, why are you doing this? Why are you walking away from this family that you got everything you want in this family? And you're like, you agree with this. You think she's insane for wanting to walk out. And why would she put her kids through all this kind of hardship? But the wildest thing about all of this is that even though you had this amazing relationship with her family, you thought they would be on your side, and you thought that they maybe could talk some sense into her into coming back to you. You find out all of a sudden they've all turned on you. And now they look at you as this villain. And they do everything in their power to make things harder for you and your children. So in this video, I'm going to explain what's going on here and what you can do about it to hopefully get a little bit more peace in your life to turn this into a better co-parenting situation. My name is Ed Baxter, and I help guys in betrayal situations. The process of being with a woman for 50 years or a woman that you're dating is pretty much the same. For us, it's just science. Because we know the patterns, we know the solutions. It's not that complicated. You have to make a commitment for yourself. That's what it means to be in the Soul Seducer program. That's what it means to work with me directly. So that you can learn to handle your emotions, so you can learn to see right into a woman's soul and seduce her from within, to create this garden that she can actually thrive in. The first thing is remember, that's their daughter. So no matter what she does, they're always going to forgive her. They're going to love her because they have a relationship with her and they want to see their grandkids. And so the worst thing that a parent can do is sit there and alienate their child. And now they don't even get to see their grandkids. And you're like, well, they could go through you. Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, they want to have a relationship with their daughter because they raised her and they love her. Parents have unconditional love for their children. So it doesn't matter what she does. It doesn't matter how horrible she is. She's always going to get a pass. And you coming in there and trying to get in the middle of this conversation with them and their daughter is going to make it worse. So when you come to her parents telling her about all the stuff she's been doing, the late night texts, or sleeping with this guy, or abandoning the kids and all this stuff, it's not going to help your case. There may be some instances where this helps your case, but in the end, they're going to turn on you because they want to have a relationship with their daughter. And you're going to find that your ego is going to get in the middle of this, and you're going to try to villainize her because on some sick level, you want them to hate her just as much as you hate her. But the thing is, the whole reason for revenge is you want that person to feel as much pain as you're feeling. Why? Because you want them to understand what it feels like so that they can empathetically see where you're coming from. This is the whole reason for revenge. Revenge is for this one thing. And you'll oftentimes try to manipulate the parents to push the pain onto her. And so this is one of the reasons why you'll start ruining your relationship with them, and you won't know that you're doing this. You'll unknowingly make it out to be this way. You want them to give her pain just as much as the pain is that you're feeling. And guys will come into Soul Seducer like, I'm trying to forgive my wife. The church says I should forgive my wife. And I've been trying, I cannot seem to forgive her. It's like, yeah, dude, because you're still dealing with the pain. When the pain lifts, you'll forgive her naturally. They could love you. Her parents could think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. But then you'll find over time they start to hate you and resent you, and you don't even know why. Like, what's going on here? I'm not doing anything. I'm just being a normal dude. I'm not even talking to them. Like, why are they hating me? This is because your ex-wife is getting in their ear, and she's doing this on purpose. And so when a woman leaves you, what she's going to do is she's going to do this thing called splitting. In the Soul Seducer program, we call this circling the wagons. She's protecting her resources against you, even though you're not even a threat. She's going to pull as many of your friends. She's going to split her family from you. She's going to make this dividing line between these are the people that hang out with me and these are the people that hang out with him. And usually they'll try to grab as many as they can. And she'll feel like she's winning when she can grab everybody on her side. She's trying to shore up her own emotional support base. And so the more people that she can get on board, the more safe she's going to feel. And you're like, well, what happened to all my friends? Why does everybody hate me now? What's going on? It's like, well, she's trying to pull everybody onto her side. And she's doing this in such a way to diminish you. And so she'll do this by running this bad PR campaign against you. And the reason she does this is, like, let's say she's cheating on you or she's leaving you. And how can she justify leaving you or cheating on you? Well, she has to say that you're way worse than she is, and she has to play the victim game and make it seem like this was her only way out. If she can play the victim game, where she couldn't help it, and this is only her way out, and that you were a terrible husband, and that you were abusive, and that you were emotionally neglectful, or maybe physically abusive, and maybe you're just never there, and she wasn't getting her needs met, and she'll play all these games to try to spin up this narrative that she's a victim. Then, of course, her dad's going to fall into that and say, oh, my little pumpkin, I'm going to protect you. Dads do this all the time. They're going to try to protect their daughter, and be like, fuck that guy. He's treating her like this? Well, I don't blame him. I don't blame her. And so this is what's happening, is she's running this PR campaign against you to try to diminish you. She's trying to get everybody on her side, and she's trying to get everybody to hate you so that it makes her look blameless. Especially if she's cheating on you, she has to demonstrate to everybody that you're worse than her cheating. And so it's this game of who is worse. And if she can make you out to be terrible, then hopefully she can be the victim and everybody will see her as blameless. And so you end up making a situation inadvertently worse by trying to correct the record all the time. And if you know this, in the Soul Seduce program, we teach guys like how to deal with this when their wife is accusing them of stuff and how to actually turn it around in conversation with, like when she's attacking you, how to flip it around without being defensive and get to the heart of the issue of what's really going on with her. Whenever you're being defensive, it comes off as, well, what are you really hiding? So what do you do in this situation? What do you do when everybody else seems to be against you? Well, stop trying to lean into them. You don't need them. All it's doing is exposing these people for who they really are. It's exposing these people because they're choosing to follow the narrative and what's easy as opposed to being objective and reasonable adults. They're choosing to fall into this emotional game instead of being objective. They're playing this game of not actually seeing the truth. Why? Because it's easier for them. It's just easier for them to just go with the narrative than to actually get to the truth of it. And you're like, well, I feel like I'm not getting a fair shake here. I feel like this is just hurting me. And so when you go down this rabbit hole trying to prove yourself, you end up making a bunch of boneheaded mistakes, and you're trying to impose yourself into these people's worlds. Really, the best thing you can do is just, you know what, that's fine, let's cut and dry, I'm gonna move forward with my life in this direction. And then you silently step into your power, and then you become undeniable in the fact that you are absolutely dominating your life. And let them see it through your actions, instead of trying to convince them with your words. And you often wonder, man, I don't want everybody to think terrible about me. I don't want everybody to think I'm like this jerk and whatnot. Look, man, people don't give a shit. Most people can't deal with the only problems in their own life. So all you're going to be is this blip on their radar of, hey, did you hear what John did? Yeah, okay, cool. And then they move on with their lives a week later. Like nobody gives a shit about really what's going on with your life. Even though, look at the news cycle. It's the same thing. Like people are so wrapped up in their own bullshit, they don't want to be enveloped in yours. It'll just be this gossip talking point over dinner a couple of times, but at the end of the day, in 2 weeks, they don't want to still be talking about this shit. Even though it's your life and it's like, it means a lot to you, and you want to convince these people differently, they just don't want to be a part of it. And so like your friends or whatever that are going on her side, you're like, hey man, could you put on a word or could you do this thing? They don't want to be involved with your drama. Like nobody wants to be involved with it. They got enough of their own shit going on. And so use this to your advantage. You don't have to convince anybody. Realize they're going to forget, and they're going to come back around and be your friend anyway. And then also just realize that it's highlighting to people who weren't really your friends to begin with. If they all just throw you under the bus and they don't really care about that friendship and they just willing to just listen to whatever narrative she has, they weren't really your friends. They didn't really see you for who you were anyway. They had no desire to really figure out what's going on. And this also means that they weren't willing to defend you against her. And if you've got some guy friends who no longer talk to you because the wives got together, well, those guys are weak pussies anyway. Don't hang out with those guys. Those guys are not people that are going to help you move forward in your life. They're just going to propagate more of that happy wife, happy life bullshit. And those guys are going to get cheated on just like you did. And so the game is never to convince the narrative. The game is never to try and to be something everybody else wants you to be. Being unapologetically yourself means standing up for who you are. It means coming into the world and imposing yourself in a way that has humility and heart. Not in a way where you're just a dick and you're just too dominant when people don't want you around. Obviously, that's not going to work out well for you. But your ability to express as a man, express who you are unapologetically and say, this is who I am. And this fucking matters. And going out there and then doing the cool shit in your life that you couldn't do because you were married. Because this woman was pushing a bunch of weight on you, telling you how you weren't enough or guilting you or shaming you and telling you that she could do better or demonstrating that she could do better through her actions. And so the game is never to try to convince her family to like you. The game is always to do what's best for you and do what's best for your children in spite of all those other people in your life. And so you're going to be lowly for a bit. That's okay. That's expected. But as you're stepping forward into your power and doing cooler shit in the world, you're going to find that you're start attracting a lot better people. And when you start holding boundaries, and oftentimes you weren't holding boundaries at all, you'll start seeing that these people really care about you. And you won't actually have to exert boundaries with these people because they're cut of the same cloth as you. And so, brother, this is your chance to step into your power right now. And stop trying to chase after the validation of your ex-wife and her family and all these other people who just never really valued you that well. If you want to learn to do this really fast, obviously Soul Seducer is for you. Check out the link in the description below. So if this video is helpful for you, hit like so it'll pop up in other men's feed who are going through potentially similar situations as yours. If you want to see more, hit subscribe and be sure to comment below if there's some sort of topic you'd like me to cover, or if you just want to tell me to fuck off, that's totally fine too. Anyways, brother, I love you. I'll see you in the next video.